that a rabbit in your pocket, or you're just happy to see me?
Hello,
Spoiler,
everyone.
He is a rabbit.
What?
I said, spoiler, that is a rabbit in his pocket.
Yeah. But welcome, everyone. We are back talking our personal top 10 2006 films. I'm going to be off camera tonight because, well, just not feeling quite well. Also, it was a miserable day. Rained all freaking day. And I had to go outside in that rain to take my dog out whenever she had to go. And that's always fun.
Yeah, especially
Anyway.
during winter.
Hmm?
Rain during winter and having to be outside.
Yeah. That's because it's basically in the 20s, 30s over here. So always fun. But anyway, welcome everyone. Like I said, for those who are new, or those who are new who pop into the chats, these 2006 films that that we are going to be discussing don't necessarily have to be objectively good. These are our subjective lists. The movies themselves could be even objectively bad. So we're not talking basically objectively good films necessarily or anything like that. There's objectively good films I remember seeing from 2006 that I left off my list because, while the film itself was good, I never really went back and rewatched it. So
yeah, I had tons of them too, but objectively, 2006 is a damn good movie year. Because
for the most part, well, there were movies where I was like, I can't remember if I even saw it or not. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, it has a lot of damn good movies, but not too many of them are rewatchable.
Yeah.
So
might get some judgments on my list. I don't know. We'll see. But before I say hello to the chat, Steve, let everybody know where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
Here once a month, and on with Teresa, she's doing like a detective movie challenge for January. She usually does like a movie challenge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, where you watch 10 movies from a genre, and this year she's doing detective movies. So I'll be on with her talking about that, but I'm guessing that's probably early February, and we're doing our continuing our Western thing, monthly Western movie thing, and we're doing a Fistful of Dollars this month. So I get to set a Western for February, so we just do one each.
Oh, so it's one a month. So what's the 10 movies for this month, or what was?
No. It's that's yearly. She just does a 10 genre thing as a movie challenge. So this year it's detective movies.
Oh, so basically you have the entire year to watch 10 detective movies. I'm trying to follow that. What?
No, it's just in January, watch 10 detective movies.
Well, you mentioned February, so I thought that's when it was.
No, February is the Western thing we do.
All right.
Or rather, no, the stream about the detective movie will be in early February when we've done it.
Okay.
When we watched them.
All right.
And we're also doing a Western thing, but that is monthly, where we watch one Western movie and talk about it.
I probably could easily talk about 10 mystery movies without even watching them again.
Well, it's specifically detective.
I know. Like a Maltese Falcon, that's detective because it's private investigators.
Yeah,
but the versions of Agatha Christie movies, basically, because Hercule Poirot is a detective.
Yeah, it's not like that. She has there's sub things. Like one of them has to be a comic book detective movie, and one has to be. I think she had
Batman.
a Peter. Yeah, Batman works.
I'm just okay. I can talk about Batman movies too.
Yeah, there was a Poirot movie and a Miss Marple one.
I've seen Miss Marple movies. Yeah,
Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers.
Pink Panther. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm saying I could easily talk about these movies because I grew up watching that genre.
Yeah, animated was one, I think.
Oh, Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah, I did Gotham by Gaslight for that one.
So, but anyway, say hello to the chat. Well, say hello to the chat. My mouse just God, my mouse is not working.
Did you know?
I talked to Steve about his number one.
Do you know that Norway has a comedy movie called Detective Downs?
Like Downs isn't Down syndrome.
Yeah, the detective
no.
has Down syndrome.
Oh my God, no.
It's not mocking people with Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
It's just letting an actor who is actually damn good that has Down syndrome play a detective in a comedy.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But yeah, so yeah, I spoke with Trey about his number one because I keep telling people don't use IMDb, or if you're going to use IMDb, scroll down to the details section. Because IMDb, when the first year pops up, it's like doesn't mean that's the official release year.
Yeah. Basically, because sometimes 300 will be listed as 2006, but it isn't, because it was just like an unfinished version was previewed in 2006.
Yeah. So I'm just saying you can use IMDb, but if don't go off. Yeah, because Trey's number one was 300, and I was like, Trey, that's 2007, not 2006. I remember because I returned home from a deployment, and not long at very not long after, went to see it in theaters, and I remember it was 2007.
The wiki page is better.
Yeah, because it actually shows official American releases.
Yeah, and when it was released in other countries.
Yeah. Well, IMDb shows that too, but at the same time, I say scroll down to the details section.
Yeah.
All the way down, and then it'll give the details about countries where the movie was filmed, if it was more than one, release dates, and not just in the U.S., but all the countries.
Yeah. So Trey is right. It did have a film festival, but it wasn't released. It was a preview.
Yeah.
And it wasn't finished.
Yeah. So generally, film festivals aren't releases. They're basically just previews to, basically upper crust assholes who can afford to go or be invited to go.
Yeah.
But official releases come later.
Hence why I watch all my movies at festivals.
Yeah. So, hello, Anthony. Good to see you. Yeah, no, not my number one. I'm pretty sure you can all understand my number one. Hello? What, are you gonna try to guess it?
Well,
hello?
Actually, there could be quite a few.
Hello, Teresa.
But I think we're gonna have 4 crossovers today.
Possibly. Anyway. All right. I think that's everyone in the chats. Or Soul Assassin, I think if I miss you, apologize, but welcome everyone. So as we normally do, even though Stig does not like this, I still make him do it. Roll a d20, and I just on the off chance.
Yeah.
Women
have their monthlies. I get this shit.
Yeah. So,
not that I'm comparing.
We're more regular.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
So anyway, so he rolls a d20, and I guess a range that it'll fall in to see who goes first.
Yeah. Do you want 1 to 10 or 11 to 20? And keep in mind, we've now done over 20 of these, and I still haven't won once.
11 to 20.
16.
Why can't I have this fucking luck with the lottery?
It's we started in 80, now we're in 2006, so that's 26 episodes or 27.
Roughly,
80 counts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a winning streak of 27.
Yep. And can't win the lottery to save my life. Hello, Mr. Grimm.
No, me neither. Well, obviously not.
But anyway, okay, so my number 10. So I'm not sure where it'll stand on other people's list, if it's on anybody else's list, but I enjoyed it.
Oh, side note, you know what's going to happen?
What?
When we do the last one, I'm going to win.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you finally win, and you'll take that as like a major win.
Yeah, like fuck off. I'm never coming back.
Yeah, pretty much. So my number 10 is, so I guess I don't know exactly anyone else's feelings about this movie, but it's kind of makes being a guard at a museum interesting. If I was ever in a situation where I was a guard at a museum and anything like this happened, I would be fine with working nights. And that is Night at the Museum, basically. So stars Ben Stiller. He's a kind of down on his luck. He considers himself an inventor, but he basically can't get any momentum with anything he's invented. So he needs to get a job, otherwise he risks losing any custody rights he has with his son, because he and his wife were divorced. I think she's married, remarried basically, but he needs to show some type of stability, otherwise he'll basically lose access to being able to see his son. So he takes a job, whatever he can. And what I like in that scene where he's finding out about this job is the woman who's telling him about it is his real life mother, Anne Mira. And so the little inside joke when he says I feel like we have a connection, and she says no, we don't. That's his real mother saying that to him, basically. So kind of for me, kind of made it funnier. That's just me personally. Anyway, he takes a job because he needs the income for the reasons I stated, and he's given rules. So basically, the 3 previous night guards are retiring. They're elderly, and he's taking over for them. And the 3 night guards are, I'm blanking on the one actor's name, but 2 of them, one is played by Dick Van Dyke and the other by Mickey Rooney. And there's a third one that I know I've seen him in other movies, and I just can't remember his name. But they're elderly, they're retiring, and they give him a list of rules he has to follow each night, basically if he's taking over the job. And he learns real fast and real hard, the hard way, that he has to do this stuff because, the museum comes alive. Basically, the statues start walking around. Robin Williams is great as Teddy Roosevelt. You have the T-Rex skeleton that likes to play fetch. Owen Wilson and Steve Coogan play little miniature figures. So Owen Wilson is a cowboy, Steve Coogan is a Roman centurion, and they don't like each other. The animals come alive too, basically. So it's one thing short of going entirely into the plot. I think it's a fun movie. Bill Cobbs, thank you. I was blanking on his name. Bill Cobbs, Dick Van Dyke, and Mickey Rooney play the guards, basically. And I don't want to go in too many details with the movie because there is a little more to the plot than just the museum comes alive each evening. But I find it a very fun watch. So whenever it's on, I'll sit down to watch it.
I've actually never seen it.
You've never seen it? I think you should give it at least one watch. At least the first one. You don't exactly have to see the second or third one, because it's not they're not. There's I think steps down from the first one. I overall enjoyed them for the most part, but you could get away with just seeing the first one.
Yeah, well, I'm not opposed to watching any of them. It's just I never got around to it.
Yeah, I would say just at least watch the first one.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I don't want to go into too many details because, some other elements of the plot happens, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone like Steve who has not seen it. But I think it's a fun.
You know what? It's actually a 20-year-old movie, so if I get spoiled, it's my own fault at this point.
Well, possibly, yeah. But if I can help it, I'm not going to say anything. I'd rather you watch it the first time, and if you enjoy it, great. If not, then well. So
last year I gave myself a little challenge to watch 50 or more westerns, and this year I'm doing comedies, so I'll definitely watch it.
The first one, like takes place like at the museum, and then the second one takes place at the Smithsonian. So that made like basically it's like a bit of a grander scale. So, which makes it interesting. That's why I kind of like the second one. Even though I think it's a bit of a step down from the first one. Just like the whole like the fact that the Smithsonian is like different buildings, so it's not like it's one building. I haven't seen this movie in a while. Valley of the Gwangi. That's an interesting movie.
Never even heard of it.
Mm-hmm. It's an old film from like 60s. Yeah, It's basically it's like cowboys versus dinosaurs. Or a dinosaur, I should say.
I'm interested already.
Yeah, so it's a B movie. I'm not saying that to be like that is bad or anything like that. I'm just saying like a B real movie. So it's like but I think it's a interesting, fun watch.
Well,
I worked with Iraqi officers in 2011. So
was with a concept like cowboys versus a dinosaur or something, a B movie probably makes it even better.
Yeah, I'm just saying like but it's been a while since I've seen it, so you should be able. Yeah, like Soul Size is like free on YouTube.
Well, here's the thing: free on YouTube over there doesn't mean free over here, because rights rules something crap.
Well, you should probably be able to find it if you have access to sites like Tubi or anything like that.
No, Tubi is not available in Norway, but the high seas are very available because we are a coastal country, and Viking means pirate.
So, but anyway, my number 10 is Night at the Museum.
Well, I have a goofy movie at number 10. Involves Samuel Jackson on a plane.
Oh.
With animals. Reptiles.
Yeah.
Specifically, snakes.
Yeah.
I could not put it on it because it is rewatchable.
I don't rewatch it because I know something happens to a cat.
It's a dog.
Or no, there was a cat. There was a scene like where I thought it was a cat in a crate in the cargo hold, and a snake went into the carrier.
Oh, yeah, I think that was a thing. It's been a while since I watched it.
But that stuff, I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this again.
Simple concept though. Snakes get set loose on a plane, like all kinds of snakes, and passengers starts getting bitten and eaten. And Samuel Jackson's there, and it's like Air Force One.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, Anthony, I consider that gratuitous violence because we already know from the fucking trailers that it's snakes going after people on the plane. So we don't need to see them going after anything else. That's gratuitous to me. So I was like, fuck this. I'm not watching it again.
And, when the guy tosses the little dog to the anaconda, right?
Yeah, I don't like thinking about that.
You have to laugh because it's not that the dog gets eaten. It's the fact that he's shitty enough to do it.
No, I don't like that at all. I don't have to laugh. I'm not going to laugh.
I laugh at that scene. Sorry.
So, but that's shitty and gratuitous. It was unnecessary.
No, well, I like animals and I get along with them. So it's not like I'm not pro animal violence of any kind, but I still thought that was funny because you can't choose what you find funny.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't find that funny. Like, it's like you said, like, I like when people use a phrase, you have to laugh. I'm like, no, I don't have to.
No, I
have to.
It just happened. But anyway, snakes on the plane. There's not too much to say.
Well, see, like the movie itself, if you would just remove those elements, like I said, because again, like you could remove those elements and it changes absolutely nothing about the movie. That to me becomes gratuitous because, because the snakes are going after the people anyway. The snakes eat the people too, so.
Yeah, well, it does add more hatred towards that one character. Right.
No, like you could have easily made that hatred towards that character by having him, like, push someone towards that snake.
Yeah, but people get more pissed if you do it with a dog.
So I'll say that's true there, but at the same time, I'm like you want hatred, like, just have him pushing someone towards them.
No.
So,
but anyway, very rewatchable. Doesn't have a deep plot, and it's basically kind of gruesome kills, but kind of funny, right? Like the guy gets bitten in the dick,
yeah.
So, yeah, Teresa, that's true.
Well,
She almost did that to Mora's D&D pet.
yeah.
She said she was gonna hold him up like Simba and toss him to the beastie. The problem is the beastie was so big that the pet would have been like, King Kong eating a peanut.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have done much, but it would have been funny. Anyway, Snakes on the Plane is my number 10.
All right, number 9.
My number 9 is, I bet you it's on Trey's list. Crank. Starring Jason Statham.
One of them had Crank.
Yep.
Hold on. Where was it? Yeah, 10. Yeah, that was Trey's 10.
Yeah. Well, Jason Statham wakes up. He's been kind of poisoned and needs to keep his adrenaline up while trying to find out who did it and how to fix it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So every time his adrenaline drops, he risks dying from a heart attack. It's
I can't
freaking
remember her
scary.
name. She was in the Dawn of the Dead remake and Rat Race.
Amy Smart.
Yeah, there. Yeah, Amy Smart.
Yeah. He shags her in public
Mm-hmm.
to get his adrenaline up, and then gets a phone call and he doesn't finish. And he does it in front of a bunch of tourists.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, wasn't the second one he was like on a raceway or something?
Yeah, something. He also takes the wrong medicine and gets a hard on, and is standing with a bunch of people who's looking at a TV screen through the window of a store, and the picture of him is there because he's wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy turns to the side and looks at him, and there he is, right? And he looks down, and there's the boner. Scares the shit out of him. I've never seen anyone look more guilty than Statham in that scene. But
Yeah.
it's pure fun, It's almost childish fun, isn't it? But it works.
Mm-hmm. I
Statham's-
enjoyed Crank. Didn't make my list, but I remember enjoying the first and second movie.
Yeah. Lots of good inappropriate humor in it.
Mm-hmm.
Including there's an animal death, isn't there?
Well, yeah, but
that one was fun. Like
Oh.
Statham fighting with the guy with the silencer, and gun goes off, and then you see like an old lady sitting in the apartment next to where the fight happens, and you see her little parakeet go poof.
yeah, it's that one where it's like I can kind of forgive that because that's like a stray bullets versus
Yeah, and it's plus
a
it's
man tossing a dog at a snake.
Yeah, because plus it's it's slapstick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same stuff you'll see in Tom and Jerry or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know.
anyway, Crank.
Mm-hmm. All right. My number 9. I kind of had to include this movie just because. Well, I don't believe I included it on one of my previous top 10 lists. I included it on this one because I think like overall plot wise, this was like, well, probably not as objectively as good as the first one. I think it was like just a bit more entertaining with the introduction of the uh, vampire leader Marcus.
Oh, yeah, that's my number 8.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go too much into it, but Underworld Evolution, basically. So I
Yeah.
think it I think it's like more action packed versus like the first one was more like slow build up, basically figuring out what's going on, why the Lycans are after this one individual, what's going on, what and like learning things about this world. Where this movie is like now you've learned things about this world. Now we're going to pump more adrenaline into it.
Did you notice that it's almost a point for point Terminator 1?
Yeah, I'm saying in terms of tone, where it's like the first one is like a cat and mouse kind of a thing versus the second one is like
they're
more
constantly
action.
being chased, and there's a sex scene, and then the baddie ends up in a machine.
So White Werewolf, yeah. So basically, you learn a bit more about that basically the kind of the origin of the vampire lineage and the Lycan lineage and so forth. Oh. Marcus is
awesome.
Yeah, I'm saying, I was gonna say he's not happy because the blood from this one man who was in league with the Lycans. All right, so basically blood gives the vampires the memories of the person that they're consuming essentially. So Marcus is finding out these things that he's not happy about. So he's going after Celine and Michael and so forth, and his ultimate goal is to find and free his brother.
You know what the best scene was, though?
The first of the Lycans.
When when you get to see the vampires back in medieval times in full plate and stuff at the beginning.
Yeah,
that was freaking awesome.
So, but I'm saying you learn a bit more about their stories, and then you have what's the father's name? What's something Corvinus?
Alexander Corvinus.
Yeah, Alexander Corvinus, basically the father of the two. Right, so who's looks good for his age, been around for a long time, and he's helped Celine and Michael and so forth. And basically, it's very much just it's a chase movie.
And Derek Jacobi, isn't it?
Yes.
He
could have killed his sons, but they're his sons.
Hats off to the guy who played Marcus. He was the best actor in that movie. He really nailed it.
Yes. Oh, what's his name? Because he was Priest in Blade 2. He was, I believe, the Invisible Man in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, he's so underrated.
Yes. I think in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I think I appreciate the fact that they kind of point out that to be completely invisible, he'd be naked. I'm saying he'd be naked. So if he's completely invisible and you can't see him, he's not wearing any clothes. Because at one point I'm he's he has white makeup on so people can see his face and stuff and his hands, and then gets to a point where he has to toss water on himself to disappear.
Another thing that irks me in movies and stuff is when they do shape changing, right? The clothes shouldn't shape change. It should only be the body, right?
Yeah.
Because you have movies where I think it was that stupid From Dusk Till Dawn TV show.
I didn't watch it.
Shape shifted, and that shape shifted his clothes as well. I'm like, no, the clothes are not part of the vampire's body.
No, they'd tear. It'd be like if someone would be changing into a werewolf, the clothes would tear.
Yeah. So if you want to shape shift and stuff, you should be naked.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want your clothes to tear, I'm just saying, but
yeah,
I never saw that. Like I said, I never watched that show, so I would never think that clothes should shift with them.
Yeah, it was written by the brilliant Cameron Pasha.
Anyway, moving on from that. Underworld 3, that's Rise of the Lycans, isn't it? And I enjoyed that.
I loved it. But I thought it was too short.
Well, you were talking about Awakening. Well, technically that would be 4, right?
Yeah, Awakening is 4, but Rise of the Lycan, that's 3.
I know.
The
I'm saying
prequel.
he says Underworld 3, and then he says Awakening. I was like, Awakening's technically 4, because
Kind of.
Underworld 3 is technically a prequel, but it's still the third one. So
Yeah, unless you consider Rise of the Lycans to be number 0, because
I'm
it's a
just saying
prequel.
it. So Awakening, I don't remember that one. I really don't remember anything past Rise of the Lycans. I know I've seen it.
Awakening
But,
was, it's watchable, but it certainly was a step down.
well, yeah, I'm just saying it didn't make an impression on me, so I'd have to go back and watch it. So I can't say yes or no right now. I just don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's my number 9, Underworld Evolution.
Yep. Awesome movie. And when you rewatch 1, you kind of have to do 2 as well, because it just picks up right after.
Yes.
Well, that's our first crossover.
Yep. Well, my number 8 is... I chose this movie. Like, there were 2 other horror movies that came out in 2006 that I overall enjoyed. Silent Hill, even though I never played the game, so I cannot say whether or not it respected the lore from the game or not. I never played the first Silent Hill game. And Stay Alive. Despite the glaring plot hole in Stay Alive, I do enjoy that premise. So, like, if you die in the video game, you die in real life. Basically, it's one of those horror games based on, well, quote unquote, based on a real historical figure. And I say that quote unquote because it's very loosely based on an historical figure. It's not accurate to the actual history, but I can ignore that if there weren't any glaring plot hole in Stay Alive. But moving on, like I said, I still enjoy Stay Alive. But moving on, I picked this movie for my number 8 instead of those 2 because there's an element to this movie where, like, there is a plausibility that this could happen, which makes it, I think, more terrifying than the other 2 movies, and that is Hostel.
I've never seen that one, but I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like, is this one of those, torture porn kind of thing?
Well, a little bit at the end, more so in the sequels.
Yeah,
more so in the sequels, because the first one is like a slow build up, because there's mystery. It was like, what happened to these people.
Oh, it's being remade. Actually, I saw that yesterday.
So,
but yeah, basically, I might have seen some of the sequels, like bits of it, and it's like, yeah, this is blood and guts just for the sake of it.
Yeah, sequels, like I said, more so in the sequels than the first one. In the first one, there's a little bit of torture porn, but that's near the end when it's like it's kind of all coming to fruition on what's happening.
Yeah.
So like I said, I enjoyed it, and I put it on the list because it kind of left that indelible impression on me because of how plausible it was. Is it like a little bit exaggerated? Yes. A little bit exaggerated in terms of like a little bit of the scope of what's going on and so forth. However, it's still like it kind of feeds into like the news accounts you'd read about people going on trips to like European countries or wherever and disappearing, never to be found again, basically.
Yeah. Very plausible. Also, a side note, the reason I noticed that it's being remade, because I looked at if Paul Giamatti has something upcoming, and he's in it.
That is okay. It does not need to be remade. But like I said, that's why it's scary to me. Like the fact that it could happen. Whereas like Silent Hill, where it's like there's like the element of the fantastic. Stay Alive, there's the element of the fantastic, to where it's like chances are that something like that will never happen. Hostel, yes, very much so.
Especially in Eastern European countries.
Which is where they go. They go to Slovakia.
Mm-hmm.
So it very much can happen in those countries. I am part Slovakian myself, and I will say, yeah, if I were to go to any of those countries to basically to see the countries that my heritage, I am not going alone.
No.
I'm
not going with you because I don't want to be killed alongside you.
Anyway, who's to say that they'd be targeting me? They could be targeting you, and I just like happen to be in the crosshairs.
I do have really good hair.
Oh my
It
god!
could definitely happen.
Anyway, I'm just saying I could not like not put this movie on the list just because of how much, like like I said, that impression it made on me of like it's like that that it could happen.
Also, it kind of started a genre or a subgenre for a while.
A little bit. He said, like, you don't have to watch this. I would say don't bother with the sequels. I know I saw the second one, and I was like, okay, that very much is a fucking stretch. All right. Like, it's not even a hostel or anything like that. It's like a fucking bachelorette party, like in Vegas or something like that. And it's like, I'm like, what? Why are you calling it Hostel 2 then? Because in the first one, it's an actual hostel they go to.
Yeah.
Because the first one's more realistic. After that, it's like, okay, now you're just going straight into torture porn. It's kind of like what the Saw movies became, straight torture porn.
Yeah, but the Saw movie were still well thought out.
No, I'm saying like they became torture porn, where it's like the sequels for Hostel were like, again, why are you calling it Hostel? They're not even at a hostel.
Well, so it's basically just hell, it happened to Game of Thrones, where it was just like go from shock moment to shock moment, and try to top the shock moments, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, like I said, I added Hostel, so I had to include that as my number 8.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that one too. Around would it count as a Halloween movie?
I'd say, well. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a little bit of element of the scary in its realisticness.
Yeah.
But it's up to you.
Yeah. Well, my number 8, we've already talked about. It was Underworld Evolution. So we're just jumping over that.
Yeah.
There's not too much to say about it. My number 7, though, is a damn good movie. The Prestige.
Did not make my list. I had to leave some stuff off.
Yeah.
I had to leave The Illusionist off too.
Yeah, I like Prestige better than The Illusionist. To be honest, I recently rewatched both. Prestige is a Christopher Nolan movie, isn't it? Starring Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson's in it, and the great Michael Caine and David Bowie as Nikola Tesla. And basically, this is like, magicians doing tricks on stage. Christian Bale has his trick that Hugh Jackman wants, and he doesn't want to give it to him. But can't say much because it'll spoil. This movie is so spoilable. But basically, the movie kind of does the same kind of trick to the audience, doesn't it? So it's actually brilliant. The acting all through it is fantastic. For what they're trying to do, it's probably a 10 out of 10. But I can't talk about it too much.
It's kind of like The Illusionists, where it's like you can't risk saying too much because like you could give something crucial.
Hell, even The Sixth Sense. It's just once you know the twists, it's there. But this one is rewatchable in the sense that you can try to spot stuff when they're tricking the audience, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's done incredibly well. The acting is spot on. The sets are amazing. Everything's just Nolan nailed it. So anyway, number 7, The Prestige.
All right. My number 7 is an Adam Sandler film. Probably like up there with probably I would say my favorite Adam Sandler films. I probably would put this actually in my top 3. And that is Click.
Never seen it. So. And here's the thing, that's one of very few Adam Sandler movies I haven't seen.
So I think you might like it. I think because I think like at its heart, like it is a comedy. So like it is a comedy. It's as it's an Adam Sandler movie, but at its core, there is some heart to it, basically, because
You know what Brendan Fraser said
mhm,
about Adam Sandler?
mhm.
Probably the best compliment I've ever seen him get. He said, Adam Sandler always plays heroes that get overlooked.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because he's always a nice guy that tries to do the right thing and he does
mhm.
it, but kind of never gets credit, does he?
Nope. In this case, he's not exactly a nice guy because he has to learn a lesson, basically.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not like he's an asshole or anything like that. It's more the fact that like he's very focused on his job, so he's missing certain things that is like events that his kids are part of and so forth. His wife doesn't feel like they're connecting anymore, so she feels like ignored and things like that. Even though like he's not doing it obviously to be mean or anything like that. He's because of his focus on his job, he's acting neglectful and everywhere else, basically. And he's given this remote, all right? And through this remote, it looks like a TV remote control. Like he can control his life. He can pause his life, rewind it, and so forth. He can do everything like you would like imagine like a universal remote to be. Yeah, his wife is played by Kate Beckinsale. And he ends up using it so much that he ends up missing major parts of his life. Right?
Yeah.
To the point where it's like he doesn't like has no idea what has happened, and like that's like the lesson he's learning basically throughout the film. And I don't want to say too much because I think that like it's like a little there is like a little bit of there is like some sentimentality in some scenes. And David Hasselhoff plays his boss. I think Adam Sandler's I'm sure the dog has passed away by now, but his dog, real life dog at the time, is in it. I think, like I said, me personally, like it would be in my top 3 Adam Sandler movies because it is a comedy, but it also has heart.
Yeah. You know how in comedies, it's very often a guy who learns a lesson and is a better person at the end, right? I saw Tarantino talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that never really applies to is Chevy Chase because he's the same asshole at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
His characters never learn a damn thing. He's
Yeah.
just a thorough prick.
And I think that it kind of like it's a little bit. I think like from what I've heard, that's like Chevy Chase to a core. But like I said, I if Click is on, I will sit down to watch it. And I think like give it at least one watch, you might enjoy it. We'll see.
Yeah,
But I had to include it because I remember like really like like being actually surprised, like enjoying it because I was expecting like to think it was like okay when I first saw it, and I was like, this is actually a pretty damn good movie.
Now, Soul Assassin says Adam Sandler can act when he wants to. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've seen him in a couple of roles where he plays more seriously, and he's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just likes doing the goofy stuff. He's probably having a lot of fun with those.
Yeah, and he seems like like all the all the actors in Hollywood, one like the few genuine ones. Because you look at like it's like he hasn't changed his style. Like it's like like you look at his style and like not just acting, but in like what he wears. He's like, I'm going to wear this. I'm not like like this is me. This is like the real like real Adam Sandler. This is what I'm comfortable in. Like where everyone else is like you can tell there's like fakeness to it.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson said he had a damn good time on Anger Management.
Yeah,
Enjoyed every second of it.
That I would put like really close to the top 3. I loved Anger Management.
Oh, that one actually has a brilliant twist.
Yeah. Where I was like, oh, when that happened, I was like, you motherfuckers, you got me.
Yeah, they got me too. And when it was revealed, I was like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It was right there. I didn't see it.
Yep. Oh yeah, but that is my number 7, right? So
sorry for the coughing. I'm still shaking off Corona. I'm not even kidding. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, hope you get better.
Yeah, I still get dry cough and sore lungs. Everything else fine.
My number 6 is an animated film that I still get a kick out of watching. And that is Over the Hedge.
Never seen that one either. Well, here's the thing. I'm really lagging behind on the animated stuff.
Well, I'm just like I'm not like that wasn't a sigh like how have you not seen this? It was more of a sigh like it's like well how how do I explain this to someone who has not seen this who doesn't live in America like to understand suburbia basically. But I think you might still find it funny.
Here's the thing. It's not that different over here than over there.
No, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm not going to say anything basically, but the movie itself, basically, it's an animated film. Bruce Willis voices the raccoon. Gary Shandling voices the turtle. William Shatner voices the father possum, and
it would be fun if he voiced a pair of panties.
No. But he works as the opossum. Like he very much works as the opossum. Avril Lavigne voices his daughter. Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara voice like porcupine parents. Wanda Sykes voices the skunk, and she's while I don't like her as a person, I like appreciated like the character she voiced. Oh yeah, and Steve Carell is oh my God, Hammy. I remember him because he's basically it's like they don't allow him to have caffeine for a reason, and then gets to a point where they have to, which is funny as fuck. But anyway, all right. But anyway, why am I blanking on the raccoon's name? But is it Rocky? Anyway, he is scavenging. It's like near the end of like winter-ish, and he decides to try to rob a bear of his RJ. Thank you, RJ. Like the food and like stuff that this bear is built up. The bear is like, voices the bear Nicholas Nolte. I think Thomas Hayden Church voices the exterminator, and Allison Janney voices the like that very much a Karen homeowners association bitch, basically. You'll understand like when you see her character if you watch the movie.
They always get like president of the homeowners association, stuff like that, that they managed to get put in charge of. It's like you can spot the Karens by looking at who's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that over here too.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyway, so RJ decides to like attempt to rob this bear, and in the process, everything gets just like every like bit of food and whatever gets destroyed. So RJ convinces the bear, let me get everything for you. Like, and so like his life would be spared. And the movie like plot progresses to the point where he like RJ uses these other animals, right? Uses these other animals to get food, basically. So he's kind of using them to help him get the food for the bear by making it seem like he's helping them, basically. And he's the humor, like very much the humor is in the animals not understanding how suburbia works, or like suburbia basically, because at the beginning of the movie, there's like no housing base or no like no like like the premise is like basically this housing like was built during like when these animals were hibernating. That's why it says over the hedge. Basically, the hedge becomes like a boundary for the animals. And well, I don't want to say too much more because you haven't seen it. And
I'm gonna try and get this watched. Like I said, I'm just lagging behind on the animated movies because I think early on I was put off by the 3D animation because I was like, "Fuck this!" I like the 2D, right?
well,
So
it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I like my favorite part is when RJ is explaining suburban life and humans to these animals. The turtle is voiced by Gary Shandling, I believe, and it's like the turtle's name is Vern, and Vern doesn't trust RJ, but he doesn't want to, like he's trying to tell the other animals like don't trust RJ and so forth. But it's a fun movie, and like definitely humor in it that I think adults can appreciate, as well as children.
oh, most of those animated movies can be, for both.
Yeah. So I think that 3D animation aside, I think you might enjoy it.
It's the 3D animation has grown a bit on me, but
Yeah.
it's just early on
Mhm.
when I saw 3D animation even put into live action movies.
Mhm.
I know because the early 3D or CGI was kind of shitty and it took you out of the movie. So
So yeah.
I just got a distaste for it for a few years.
So in this case, I
Yes.
appreciate it also because it at least looks a little different from like Pixar animation, because a lot of companies were copying Pixar style of animation for their 3D animation.
Yeah,
So
they just look the same.
So in
Kind
this
of.
one here, it doesn't it's different enough for me that like it doesn't look like Pixar or anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, you might like it. I like it. It's on Netflix. I talked about it a while back with Orange Chat. It's I like hiccup. I love this animated movie.
Yeah. Well, adding it to my list.
All right. Okay, that's my number 6. Over the Hedge.
Hmm. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah. My number 6 is definitely on Trey's list. Rewatched it yesterday. The Departed by Martin Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on yours?
Nope.
I thought it might have been, but I wasn't
I
sure.
saw it once, and I have. It's not like it's a bad movie. I saw it once, and I was like, okay. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah, it's completely awesome. The acting, everything, the plot, all of it is great. Jack Nicholson shines as the antagonist. He's a thorough prick in this.
Oh yeah.
He literally walks up to she looks like late teens or early 20s or something, and he just goes, "Have you had your period yet?" Like that's how he starts hitting on her.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He's like 70. All right, stop it. But it's so wrong that it gets funny,
Yeah.
And all the actors, Matt Damon,
Kind of.
DiCaprio, Martin Sheen is in it. Uh, Tremendous performances. So it's probably a 10 out of 10 movie, but it has like a hell of an ending. Once that's spoiled, it's kind of not as rewatchable, but it is it's a 10 out of 10 movie, probably the best movie of that year in terms of acting,
Probably.
whatever. But The ending is awesome. It's completely awesome, and it's kind of shock value done right because it all makes sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, uh, I can't say too much without spoiling. But
I'd probably put Last King of Scotland above The Departed in terms of quality.
oh yeah, that's you wouldn't be. I
But
wouldn't be protesting too much about that.
no, but I'm saying, like, I think, like, because that movie is, it's not on my list, Last King of Scotland, but it's one of those movies where it's like I'll watch it and then I'm good for a while after that because, like, it does not shy away from
No, Idi
showing, like,
Amin was he was not.
who Idi Amin truly was.
Yeah, he wasn't nice.
Yeah,
He used to
like,
feed people to crocodiles too.
yeah. So, like, very good movie, and I appreciate that. Like, it's like they're not trying to make him a sympathetic guy or anything like that. He was some.
Yeah.
He was an evil man.
Oh yeah. Power corrupts fast in certain
Yeah.
parts of the world.
Yeah.
But anyway, my number 6 was The Departed. Number 5
Mm-hmm.
is I guess a cult classic of sorts. Slither,
All right.
which is Nathan Fillion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Blake Lively. Fillion plays a small town sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Meteor lands outside of town with some kind of creature on it that infects Michael Rooker, who is an asshole in the movie, as he usually is. And he grows tentacles. He starts turning into a tentacle beast, and several more of them start showing up. And it's kind of like Snakes on the Plane, but tentacles in town, I guess.
Yeah.
Great fun. It doesn't take itself seriously. Lots of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I keep rewatching that one because it's kind of like The Blob, you know.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. At least, well, I know I've seen the remake of The Blob, but I can't remember it.
Yeah,
I know I definitely saw the original with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, I've seen the original and the '80s one. I actually prefer the '80s one, but both are good. But this is in the same alley, easily. Same genre, same alley, same humor.
Mm-hmm.
But Fillion is superb. He pretty much carries the movie. But anyway, Slither. If you haven't seen it, great fun. It's silly monster flick. Made by a shit director.
Yeah,
but he did well with this.
Yeah, it's like when James Gunn is just directing, he's fine.
Yeah,
if he's directing and kind of writing for an ensemble movie, he's decent.
Yeah,
but don't let him anywhere near any other property.
Yeah, keep him away from franchises.
Yeah.
Same with J.J. Abrams and all the other ones. Rian Johnson, just keep him away from established stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're finished, my number 5 is another comedy. So I've never really been.
Can I make a bet?
What?
Or a guess? Does it have cars in it?
Yeah.
And
certain types of cars.
The main character thinking he's on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my number 4.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't go.
No, just yap away about it. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's Talladega Nights. I've never really been like a fan of Will Ferrell, but there are certain movies I think he does well in that that even though I'm not a fan of like him per se, that I like enjoy the movies. Kind of like with Anchorman, basically. It's like at the end I'm not a fan of the actor, but I enjoyed the movie. In this case, Talladega Nights.
It's kind of like the dumber he plays, the better he is.
Kind of, yeah. And he plays a character named Ricky Bobby, who becomes a race car driver. And his mantra, because of his basically drugged out, was like, Oh yeah, because Gary Cole says I was high when I said that. So basically, like his father, his ne'er do well father, said if you're not first, you're last. So he lived with that mentality basically. If you're not first, you're last. So he worked to be like the best in whatever he did, and he loved racing. So like he went from like his goal was based to be a race car driver, and his friend played at least the older version of the friend because they were friends in school, like when they were kids. It's played by John C. Reilly, and his character's like Cal, who also becomes a race car driver, and basically he's kind of like he's basically the second banana to Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby's very much a narcissist.
Oh hell yeah!
And so so his friend because at one point Cal's like how about letting me win every once in a while, and Ricky Bobby's response to that is like then how will I win? So it's like that's very much his character.
Oh, Trey's mentioning Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, holy crap! That scene where Ricky Bobby says some kind of he wishes some kind of stupid stuff on someone.
Yeah, it's like don't put that evil on me.
Yeah, he just freaks out. It's like he panics. Don't put that evil on me. Like, what the fuck's going on?
That scene overall was just fucking hilarious because it's also the scene where like Ricky Bobby thinks he's paralyzed even though he's not. Yeah. And he's like, it's like because I remember Michael Duncan's his character asking the doctor, "Will he walk again?" And he's like, "Oh, he's perfectly fine. He just found that wheelchair." So it's like he's just.
Michael Clark Duncan was so underrated as a comedic actor because he's remembered for that certain drama movie, right?
Yeah.
But when he did comedy, he was fantastic.
Yeah. And so basically, the reason why it's because Ricky Bobby was. I believe he was in an accident and it kind of scarred him psychologically, and it's difficult for him to return to racing basically. And to top that off, you have Sacha Baron Cohen's character, who plays a gay Frenchman.
He's like an eel.
He is, but he's so funny. He's so funny, and you kind of have to like him to a certain degree, even though technically he's not a bad guy. Basically, he's just the antagonist. Basically,
no.
So he's winning all these races. He's a very good race car driver, and that's part of the reason why it's feeding into Ricky Bobby's insecurity as a result, as well as that kind of that psychological scarring he experienced. And this leads me to my favorite part of the movie, and that's where his father, who returns into his life, played by Gary Cole, phenomenal actor, and I loved him in this role.
He gets him to put a tiger in the car.
Oh, it's like a mountain lion.
For no good reason.
No, it was a mountain lion, and he was you got to learn to drive with the fear.
Yeah.
Nothing more and this. I love when Will Ferrell is moving back and forth, and the mountain lion's just following him in the car, basically. And I love how he calls the mountain lion Karen.
It's like a psychotic version of Johnny Lawrence's training sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta learn how to drive blindfolded. You gotta feel the road.
Drives straight through a house.
he tells him we need, and the father's like, we need to get the fuck out of here. No, don't put the blindfold back on. But that's my favorite part. Is that's my favorite part of the movie. But yeah, I had to include Talladega Nights because it's one. I think my brother recommended it for us to watch as a family one night, and I just remember howling. Cougar, close enough. It wasn't a tiger. I know that. But he calls it a Karen basically because he does his he takes his driver's test again, and he does it with the cougar in the car, and he's like, "Down, Karen."
Do we look like cat scientists, sir? No.
but I had to include it because I remember howling at the absurdity and so forth, and like there were so many good lines and moments.
I thought
When the kid says, "I'll come at you like a spider monkey." Like, how many people quoted that after that movie came out? Like, dear baby Jesus.
And I think him and John C. Riley, they did Step Brothers a few years later, right? Which is even more retarded,
Yeah,
but it
it's like,
worked.
but it worked because while I did not like that movie initially when I saw it, when I rewatched it, I was like, okay, I'm watching it as if these are basically 13-year-olds in adult bodies.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to watch it.
And I was like, okay, now I'm seeing it.
Yeah, it just becomes, the dad beating one of them with a belt.
Yeah, so it's like, Dewey Cox. John C. Riley is also a very good serious actor when he's given the opportunity.
I think that's actually what he started off as.
Because he was in Gangs of New York.
Yeah. He's very good as a drama actor.
Yeah.
Probably better, but whenever he's with Will Ferrell, they tend to strike gold.
Yeah. Help me, Oprah Winfrey. Help me, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, use your witchcraft.
Yeah. Well, Tom, that's because of the Tom Cruise NASCAR movie.
Yeah, so I bet it's one of those where it's like, again, like you have to laugh. Yeah, I did enjoy like Wreck-It Ralph. There's like actually some good serious moments where it's like, yeah, John C. Riley, like, I think it's because he works so well in comedy, and that's where a chunk of his roles were for a stretch, that I don't think people remember that is a serious actor as well.
Yeah, he was good on what was it, Kong Skull Island. Played the guy who was kind of left behind there or whatever.
He did a really good rendition of Mr. Cellophane in Chicago. Like, I'm not a fan of that musical by any stretch. But like he plays the one character's husband, who's very much like a sympathetic character because she's a piece of shit. And he like sings a song called Mr. Cellophane, and it was really good.
Didn't he do like a rock and roll comedy thing too? Where he played like a Jim
Wasn't
Morrison.
that Dewey Cox?
I don't know, Jim Morrison wannabe.
I know Dewey Cox. Walk Hard, but
yeah, I think it was Walk Hard.
Yeah. Like the character's name is Roxy Hart, but I can't remember. Was that Renee Zellweger played Roxy Hart? I'm saying like he played the husband, and like that character Roxy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like you really But anyway, Talladega Nights is my number 5.
Yeah, it's probably the most rewatchable movie that has been on this list.
Probably
combined from both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we like retarded movies.
Well, yeah, I'm saying that's it's like this is entirely subjective. So like the movies themselves, so I'm not expecting everyone to like them. I know some in the chat earlier said they weren't fans of Hostel, and I was like, I enjoy Hostel because there's an element of believability to that movie.
Yeah, well, some years we kind of have to put big movies on, like Lord of the Rings and stuff, because I don't know how many times you watched it, but I'm probably at 50 now.
Yeah, that's my number 5. So my number 4 is a movie that demonstrated you can have pretty much an all-female cast.
Yeah, seriously? Like, you just did my 3 and 4.
Oh, shut up! Oh,
I'm like one ahead of you on
oh my god! All right,
it's fine.
Okay, it's okay. Well,
they go into a cave, don't they?
I know, but I'll talk a little bit about it, and you talk a little bit about it.
No, we'll share it, right?
It's The Descent. basically these women go spelunking, and they're all to a degree capable because they're, all proficient spelunkers.
Yeah.
However,
Well, kind of.
I'm saying proficient, like not experts, but proficient enough, basically. So they're all like basically capable. And so they're going down sensibly, basically, to explore these underground caverns and so forth. And well, there's entities down there that, well, like the taste of human flesh, shall we say.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's a movie where you can have an all-female cast, and it's not woke.
No.
It's
not
no identity politics. It's just pure survival horror.
Yeah, with a little bit of a personal twist in there. But and those creatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's down, all the way down inside the earth. Could be all kinds of shit down there.
Nor do we know, nor have we ever even explored enough of the ocean, basically. We know more about space than we know about our own planet.
Yeah. So people go, oh no, that couldn't happen. Actually, yeah.
Technically it could. Like I said, while I don't exactly entirely believe that Bigfoot exists, I believe something exists.
Yeah, I'm thinking if something exists, it would be further down.
And I'm saying like just because I haven't seen proof of it doesn't mean like the possibility is not there. Just because we have not explored all of our planet. I mean, there's species being discovered even today.
Yeah, they find stuff in the ocean and in the Amazon almost every day.
So
smaller ones, but.
Well, I'm saying that like proof is there that there's a possibility that there are creatures that. Maybe not Bigfoot, but close enough that we haven't.
Yeah, I'm fully behind that.
We don't know about yet.
I'm sure if something like that exists, it won't look exactly like it, but
no. But I'm saying that the possibility of something like it is.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's a possibility. There's a possibility. Probability, maybe not so much, but possibility, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Gravy. Although I never pretended to be sane, so there's that.
I've seen more insane women than you.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm the most insane. I'm just saying I never pretended to be sane. So, I'm saying like this, like you get what you get.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like you said, I don't want to say too much because people have not seen it. I think like it should be watched without getting spoiled too much.
Yeah, it actually should be watched blind.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen The Descent, check it out. Like I said, proof that a fucking movie could be made without any identity politics.
I got Teresa to watch From Dusk Till Dawn because she had never seen it before. She loved it, but I told her to watch it blind, right? Because of the twist.
Yeah.
As soon as she clicked on Netflix, George Clooney, blah blah blah, go to a.
I hate the description sometimes where I'm like,
it just fucking spoiled it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, spoils everything. That's why I try not to read the descriptions for some movies. Yeah. There are like ones where it's like, okay, it gives a vague enough description that it's fine. Like there's a movie on Netflix right now called The Woman in Cabin 10 that looks like it could possibly be a decent thriller with Keira Knightley. And at least it didn't give too much away in the description. So I'm like, I might check it out.
I saw I watched The Descent on Netflix when I had Netflix a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had already seen it, but when you click it and you're supposed to press play, you have like a little picture of the movie in the background. It literally had the creature.
Yeah, so they do that, and I was like, I wish they didn't.
They just ruined the movie.
Because at least with other like streaming ones I have, it's like there's like a picture, but that's it.
Yeah,
like nothing like moving or anything, like no frames from the movie or anything like that. But anyway,
it's like what kind of moron gets to keep doing this?
I don't know. I have no idea. So I've like accepted the fact that we live in a society where people just fail upwards. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So that's my number 4, which was your number 3. We kind of talked about The Descent and Talladega Nights. So you can start your number 3. No, that's your number 3, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fucked for this round.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
hopefully,
Talladega Nights and the
you
Descent.
should not have this movie on your list. All right. I would be genuinely fucking
Well,
surprised if you
it-
have this next movie on my that's on my
Well-
list on your list.
You do number 3 and 2.
Well, I'll do
'Cause-
3. All right. Basically, I'll start with 3 because I said I doubt very seriously you have this movie on your list, and that's Little Miss Sunshine.
That's my number 2.
I fucking
I'm kidding.
what? Oh, I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, you should not have this movie on your list.
No.
All right. Little Miss Sunshine. All right. It's how do I put this? It's a drama comedy. All right. It's a little bit like I guess you want to combine the two words dramedy, basically. Like a drama with comedic elements. All right. It stars Greg Kinnear, Steve Carell, Toni Collette, Paul Dano, Abigail Breslin, and Alan Arkin, basically. And Abigail Breslin is, well, like basically that, Greg Kinnear's character is married to Toni Collette's character, and their 2 children are played by Paul Dano and Abigail Breslin. Alan Arkin plays the grandfather, and Steve Carell plays the gay brother of, I think, Toni Collette's character. All right. Okay.
Abigail Breslin is underrated.
Yeah, and it's like one of her early roles, right? So it's like, and basically, it's very much a dysfunctional family movie, but again, in my opinion, they're not completely dysfunctional or anything like that. They're just not perfect, and they're embarking on a family trip by taking their daughter, played by Breslin, to this child beauty pageant, basically, and they take a road trip from their home to this beauty pageant. And it kind of tackles themes like self-acceptance, basically depression, because Paul, for example, Paul Dano's character really wants to join the Air Force, and I believe it's the Air Force, yeah, but he kind of takes his vow of silence, so he basically is not going to speak a word until he's old enough to be able to join the Air Force. All right, and it's like, you have that element there. You have Steve Carell's character. Like I said, his character is the gay brother, I believe, of Toni Collette's character, but he's he's not flamboyantly gay, basically. His character had suffered, I think, a breakdown, and that's where kind of the themes of depression and so forth come into effect with those characters. Hello, Keely. Alan Arkin is, like I said, the grandfather figure, and I love the bond he has with Abigail Breslin's character, because he's the one kind of working with her on her talent routine for this beauty pageant, which we don't see until the end when they get there and she's performing it on stage, and I love that scene. I don't want to say what happens in that scene, but it kind of brings the family together. When I say brings the family together, I mean they weren't apart, but you definitely see how they band around each other. All right, where it's no matter what happens, we're going to be there for each other. I don't want to say what it is, and I don't want to say what everything that happens, but it's it follows this family, basically. So there are elements of things that go wrong and so forth. There's revelations that that happen and so forth. But like I said, it's I remember I actually have it on DVD. It's I think it's one of those where it's I don't necessarily want to say it flew under the radar necessarily, but it's more of an independent film, so it wasn't like on most people's radars when it was released in 2006. And I don't want to say too much because there's quite a bit that happens, and at the same time, it's yeah, I don't want to say too much, basically. So, but it's like I said, as dysfunctional as this family is, deep down, they are there for each other, which I would appreciate, because most times you see a dysfunctional family, and it's it kind of those elements tear the family apart. In this case, yeah, they're dysfunctional, but push comes to shove, they're going to be there for each other. And you see that in this movie, and especially at the end. So if you haven't seen it, well, I'd say give it a watch. You don't have to, but I think it's worth a watch. And Alan Arkin is, I think, great as the grandfather. Very much doesn't give a shit about what he says and things like that, because he'll speak his mind. Anyway, yeah, Little Miss Sunshine. That's my number 3. All right. My number 2. All right. I think this is either your number 2 or your number 1. And it's the dystopian thriller starring Hugo Weaving. And now
we had it last time, remember? Because it came out in England the year before.
Okay.
So you decided, okay, you're gonna, you weren't aware of it or something, so you said you were gonna have it.
Well, it opened in 2006, so I was like, well, I saved it for this year.
Yeah, that's what you said last time. So,
so I didn't know if you included it again on your list or not, because technically,
I think I had it higher than 2.
Yeah.
So
but V for Vendetta, like it officially released, in the United States, so we were able to see it in 2006, basically, and that's V for Vendetta. Where it's like you watch this movie and you're like, how do I put this? You root for the man in the Guy Fawkes mask. So, but like, if you know anything about Guy Fawkes, like the actual historical figure Guy Fawkes, he's not exactly the person you root for. However, in this movie, you do root for him, and you feel like we're living in V for Vendetta society sometimes, because sometimes it's like, yeah, we need this shit to happen. And so, and it's one of the few roles where it's like I liked Natalie Portman in. For a while I thought she was overrated as an actress. I thought she couldn't act at fucking all. But I enjoyed her in this movie.
Yeah, she's good in this, but and I guess Your Highness, she's pretty good in that one.
Yeah,
but she is overrated.
Mm-hmm. Basically, so it's what I appreciate. It's not entirely one-sided in it, in its depiction of the world, basically. So it's not like it's this side bad, this side good entirely. It basically is like this. Everything is fucked up, basically. So it's like you either root for Hugo Weaving's character or you don't, basically, or you don't agree with them, and that gives you that option as a viewer, basically, to say it's like, what's your impression of this? How do you take this? And do you support this? Do you not? And so forth, and so forth. Like I said, if you know the actual history of Guy Fawkes, he was a criminal. Essentially, he was a criminal. But that mask, ever since V for Vendetta came out, every hacker dons that mask.
Yeah, it's like everyone on Twitter LARPs. Well, not everyone, but piles of them LARPs as him and tries to pretend to be intellectual when they're not.
Yeah. So. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to say too much because it very much is an involved movie, so it's not like it's straightforward. Like, you do have to pay attention, you do have to listen to the dialogue, you do and it says it leaves it open, basically, so it's not exactly like it makes you. It doesn't write it so that way it makes you think certain things. It portrays and depicts certain events and characters and leaves it up to the audience, basically. So it's like, what do you think? Do you agree with everything that's going down? Like, what side would you be on, basically? And so forth. So that's my number 2, V for Vendetta. All right, that's my number 2. I'll be right back, and then you can do your number 2, and we'll do our number 1, because I got to take care of something real fast. So, be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, my number 2 is Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Man's Chest, which I think is better than the first one. Fleshes out the story a bit more and introduces David Jones, which is a very underrated villain. Because he has some depth to him. Barbossa doesn't have that. He gets some later, but Pirates of the Caribbean 2. This is also where they start turning Jack Sparrow into more of a slapstick idiot that kind of just goofs his way to success, rather than in the first one, Jack Sparrow was actually very competent, wasn't he? He was a little bit weird, but he was competent. In this one, he's goofing around and just stumbling through the movie and making funny faces and somehow succeeding, kind of. Has a Han Solo Empire Strikes Back ending, though. Makes you want to watch the third one. But tremendous soundtrack. Absolutely. The effects are very good. Acting is good. But I had to put it on because I keep rewatching the trilogy, right? You kind of need to watch all three when you rewatch. So couldn't leave it out. So that's my number 2. I've noticed that nobody else has had this on, though. So I guess, I just did my number 2. Sounded
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Did not make my list. I know I've seen it, but did not make my list.
Yeah, the trilogy is fun to rewatch, and then you could watch the other 2, but they're not as good. Yeah. It's kind of like, milking the cow kind of movies, but they're fine, but it's not. Yeah. So I'm to do number 1.
Yep.
It's Rocky Balboa.
All right.
That's not on your list?
Nope. Good movie, but my number 1 will make sense.
Second best Rocky movie, perhaps.
Yeah.
And it is very close to the first one. The story is damn good. Adrian has passed away and Rocky's just living in the past, being kind of depressed and not really, realizing it. And he gets a chance to, because someone does like a CGI fight between him and his prime and the current champion, which is probably the worst opponent he's had in the whole series, Mason Dixon. But it says that Rocky would win, and they figure, hey, let's actually try it. Do like a exhibition match, and Rocky has to try to get, to be allowed to do it, because they won't allow him because he's old. But he does it, and he doesn't win, but it's kind of close. But Rocky is definitely, he's slower. He's older, he's slower, so they have to have him go for just blunt force trauma. And during the match, Mason breaks his arm or wrist, which later will make him be able to punch harder because the arm will go numb. But Rocky starts getting points in, and and this is where it should have ended with Rocky. They shouldn't have done those Creed movies with him in it. They could have done it without him, because him walking away from Adrian's, grave in the end, and you kind of fading away. I thought that was the perfect ending, and he had bonded with his son again. The Creed movies aren't bad at all, but Rocky's story should have ended with Rocky Balboa, I thought. But anyway, Rocky Balboa, probably, well, it is my favorite movie of the year. Stallone did great.
In
it. So that's my last one.
Okay. Well, my number one is a movie that was a lot more prescient than it should have been. Because you can't deny that we are living in it right now.
Oh, that one. I know which one you mean.
Idiocracy.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Like I said, like it was way more prescient than it than like should have been. But that you would expect it, but now we're living in it. Now we're living in it is Idiocracy. Basically, Luke Wilson and why am I blanking on this actress's name? God damn. Basically, they're cryogenically frozen as part of an experiment, and while they are cryogenically frozen, humanity devolves. There's no other way to put it. Basically, humanity devolves. Maya Rudolph, thank you, or Maya 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 Rudolph. Devolves basically because intelligent people are giving every reason in the book not to have a child now. Oh, we can't have a child because of we're this because of this because of this. Where meanwhile, the retards are reproducing like rabbits, and I guess they're not frozen basically, but there's something goes wrong with the experiment and they're abandoned basically, and so they don't. So these two, played by Luke Wilson and Maya Rudolph, don't wake up until long time later, and they wake up in this world where they're the two smartest people in existence, literally, and because you have Terry Crews, you have Dax Shepard. Justin Long is in it, basically. Hell, Crocs. The Crocs shoes were made for this movie as a joke. And now people buy them unironically. Crocs were made as a joke for this movie because let's make the most ridiculous shoe possible for these idiots living into this society to wear. And now people buy them unironically because for some reason they became popular after this movie. All right. But literally the movie is Luke Wilson and Maya Rudolph's characters trying to figure out what's going on. And they're trying to also help these people because, for example, they're watering plants with sports drinks because plants like electrolytes. And Luke Wilson is no, you gotta use water. Stupid shit like that. Yeah, Terry Crews is the president. Like I said, you have Dax Shepard, you have Justin Long, and things, and and so forth. And yeah, wasn't that the number one movie at the box office? And it's just ass, it's just an ass on the screen, basically. There's so much about that movie where it's when it came out, you're thinking is there's no way it could get this bad. Then the 2010s, 2020s happen. And we're living in idiocracy. Pretty much. So I had to put it on the list, and I had to put it at number one because like I said, it was way more prescient than I think it was intending to be. Yeah. Mike Judge looked into the future and he saw where humanity was going. So, but that's it. That's my top 10 list of 2006 movies.
Yeah, pretty good. I think we both had good variety today.
Yeah,
all kinds of genres, really.
So, yeah, I saw more movies than I thought I had done from 2006. But like I said, it's there was movies where it's either I haven't rewatched them since I saw them, or they didn't really have any rewatchability. For example, Apocalypto. Yeah. Very good movie.
Yeah.
Very good movie, but not one where it's I'd rewatch it if it's on necessarily.
Yeah. Same with, you wouldn't rewatch The Departed over and over again, or The Prestige, or The Illusionist either,
Yeah.
because they have like very spoilerish endings, and once you've seen it,
Yeah.
you know where it's going.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you brought up Sixth Sense. Basically, once you know the twist, it's like, well, kind of loses rewatchability.
That's depressive. Like Mr. Grimm, like for 2007, the list I got bangers from my childhood, and I'm thinking, fuck, I was almost 30 at that time.
God. Yep. Anyway.
Fuck off, Mr. Grimm.
It's like, fuck you, but welcome.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we hate him now.
Anyway, yeah, but Apocalypto, it's a Mel Gibson film. When I say Mel Gibson film, I mean he directed it.
Yeah.
It's in the dialect from the time period, basically. So you'd have to watch it literally with subtitles, otherwise you're not going to understand anything that's happening in this movie. Like Mel Gibson was very authentic about like the time period and so forth when he was making this movie,
which he was not with Braveheart.
No, but I'm saying it's like not with Braveheart, but with this movie, a bit more authentic.
I think he did that with the Jesus movie. Yeah.
Like he used Aramaic. Yeah. So I'm saying it's like so like you'd have to watch unless you have subtitles on, you're not going to understand what people are saying.
Yeah. Oh, Anthony, I love Braveheart too, but it's not accurate.
No, not accurate.
It's an awesome movie. Mm-hmm. It's 10 out of 10 probably, but it's not accurate.
So. But yeah, so the next year will be the next year we'll be talking about will be 2010 or no, to 2007, and let me see. Well, the first Wednesday in February is the 4th, but I might push it to the 11th.
Well, have a look and see how my sleep schedule is.
Yeah, so like right now, I'm not exactly going to say when, but it's either going to be the 4th or the 11th, so we'll see.
Yeah, if my sleep schedule works for it, for me, it's better to just get it over with early.
Mm-hmm.
In case the sleep schedule changes, right?
Yeah. So.
Oh, it's a week after Trey Courtney hatched.
Well, if we have it on the 11th, I believe.
Why is he saying 2016? You're not born in 2016. Stop lying, you fucker.
I'm not going to say anything. April is going to be interesting because that has 5 Wednesdays. So I know I'm looking at the months ahead and what months have the 5 Wednesdays. April has 5. July has 5. September has 5.
Yeah.
I think. And December has 5. All right.
Yeah. Well, we'll just do it whenever.
Like I said, it's either going to be the 4th or the 11th for the next one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So before I give my outro, Stieg, let everybody know where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, chasing down Mr. Grimm for fucking up my day.
Yes, it's like you ruined my day, good sir.
Yeah, no, I'm too lazy for that. He's safe. But now I'll be here on the 11th or the 4th, won't I?
Yeah.
And then on Teresa's channel for the Western thing fairly soon.
So, yep.
And don't go to my Twitter. I just call people retards on it. It's very basic. Anyway. Once you've seen it for a day, there's nothing new for the rest of the decade. Except, retro games. I put a lot of retro stuff. I've actually improved. I only do retard once per day now, at most.
Anyway, I'm not on X as much anymore as I used to be.
Me neither. I just I just use it to chat with people
Mhm.
from around the world because I'm probably a boomer because when the internet came out, right?
Mhm.
Back when it was like, yeah, now you can talk to people around the world, and that's what it's going to be used for. It's going to be great. So I just okay, and
Okay.
I just stuck with that.
Yeah.
I'm like asking Mara, hey, take a picture of your house. I want to know what it looks like over there.
Mhm.
So I technically can stalk her, but I'm too late, too lazy.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. I don't give a shit.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's the benefits. I know I'm safe because you're too lazy to come over here.
Yeah. Plus, it would cost a fortune, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stalk Mara, and then I show up. I'm like, I have no money for food.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Can I come in? It's fucking cold. All
Anyway,
I'm asking is a sandwich, like the sandwich stalker.
like I'll post I'll quote you stuff on Twitter or X that it's called now.
Yeah.
I think the last time I had to deal with retards on X was when I posted how when I got that suspension on Twitch for saying
Oh yeah.
when I said some gamer words and like meanwhile you have like people like Hassan Piker who like calls for the death of other demographics and like uses a shock collar on his dog and nothing.
Yeah, and then people thought you were like complaining that you got suspended when you were actually complaining about they
Double
get to do
standard, the
far worse.
hypocrisy. Yeah. So like I said, if I'm breaking the terms of service, yeah, I'll take my licks. All right. I think it's stupid, but I'll
Yeah.
take my licks. Where I'm pointing out the double standard because you have people like Hassan and others who are blatantly breaking the terms of service, and they don't get anything happen. Like nothing happens to them.
I can predict some future arguments by you on Twitter, though.
Yeah. So.
The Hunt for Gollum
Oh
and
fuck. Christ.
Rings of Power season 3.
Oh
which
yeah.
Should be the last season, shouldn't it?
Well, unless Amazon unless they go full retard, season 3 is the last officially greenlit season. So
Yeah. Well,
like
they did cancel the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, so I'm saying like I say if they were smart, take the take the $40 million hit.
Yeah.
And just move on.
Avoid it being 80.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but like I told people were like, oh no way, it's getting a third season after the second one. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, they said that before the first season.
Yeah,
the greenlit 3. I mean, people are like, yeah, watch my scoop on YouTube. It's getting a third season. Really?
Like,
it's
if only someone had said something before the first season even premiered. Oh yeah. Wait.
I saw one guy go, I predicted we'd see Admiral Thrawn live action. Like, yeah, Dave Filoni said so after that stupid Rebels show ended.
Yeah.
So that was like 10 years ago.
So it's like, yeah.
So yeah, that's a scoop, sir. Yeah, you predicted that one.
So yeah. So yeah, I'm probably going to be. I know I got into a little back and forth with someone on X over like the War of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, which I watched it. Didn't pay for it though. I watched it. It was fucking dumb.
Yeah, because he was fine with some things, and I'm like it because he for one example he didn't see the Oliphants appearing in Rohan as lore breaking. I'm like, yeah, it is because they would not have been there.
No.
Like, there's no way they would have made it that far from where they live, literally where they exist in the.
They would have had to pass through Gondor.
Yes, there's no way.
I don't think Gondor would have said yes. Just go through.
No, definitely would not have. Definitely would not have done that. Like nothing. Like there's no way they would have made it there.
Yeah, in the Rings of Power, some Spurg had a go at me because I pointed out that when. Who was it that got poisoned? It was Sauron, wasn't it? Got poisoned, and they took him all the way across the damn map in one episode.
Oh yeah, it was
and it took Frodo and company, the Fellowship,
Yeah.
3 movies to travel a shorter distance, and they
Pretty
did
much.
that
I
in
mean,
one
like,
episode.
if you think about it, granted, there's some delays that happened, but if
Yeah.
you it's estimated that from the Shire to just Weathertop, it took them a month.
Yeah,
And that's just
and
that's like a very looking at the map, that's a short distance relatively.
yeah,
Huh.
they did that in Game of Thrones too, where it took 4 or 5 episodes
Hmm.
for a group of characters to travel from A to B, and then a character did it in 1 episode in the later seasons. Like, yeah, and it showed up exactly because they send messenger ravens.
Yeah.
So if the ravens basically go from castle to castle
Yeah.
because the castles are stationary. In this case, is there were 2 moving armies sending ravens between them. It's like, no, the ravens wouldn't know where to go
No.
because the armies aren't stationary. So it was like same kind of stupid writing as we see in the Rings of Power,
Yeah.
and the Wheel of Time and all that stuff. And it's now become a template, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just ignore travel distances and any hint of time. I mean, hell, in Star Wars now, hyperspace jumps are instant,
Yep.
despite distances. That's
Oh,
not it's not teleporting.
Yeah, there's so much wrong with Rings of Power. It's like there's no, where do I begin?
Yeah, well, you can't because there's no beginning and end in a circle, which is
No,
a ring.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like people well, what should be happening at this point? I'm like, I don't fucking know, because you have events happening out of order. You have
Yeah.
characters born when they shouldn't be born.
Yeah.
So I can't pinpoint when on the timeline this is supposed to be taking place, because you have R. Farazan alive when he shouldn't be, to include Elendil and so forth, alive when they shouldn't be because they're later on in the Second Age. The rings being created out of order. Sauron revealing himself before he should have done it in the timeline. I'm like, I don't know when it's supposed to take place. I can't tell because they don't even follow the timeline that they have access to in the appendices. Literally, all they had to do was follow that timeline for the Second Age. Couldn't even do that. Yeah, they're making God of War show and they've cast that. So I only played a little bit of the 2018 game, so I couldn't say if the casting is good or not. Well, see, the thing is, Tolkien did cover it in the Silmarillion and the Histories of Middle Earth. He did Histories of Middle Earth is compiled mainly from notes and writings that Tolkien didn't finish and so forth. But he wrote the Silmarillion before he wrote Lord of the Rings. It's just they didn't want to publish it because they wanted something like The Hobbits.
Well, he wrote a Silmarillion.
So I'm saying, but he had written and he had given it to them for them to look at for publishing, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it got bigger and more fleshed out later because he just kept.
Well, because he kept adding to it, because like I said, they didn't want to publish anything like that because they wanted something like The Hobbits.
Yeah.
There's more than one. There is a lot that covers the Second Age. It's just Amazon and the showrunners lied. They don't have access to it. They only have access, permission, to adapt Third Age material, which would include The Hobbits and Lord of the Rings. All right? So they can't touch the Second Age stuff at all because, again, they don't have permission. However, in the appendices of Lord of the Rings, there's a timeline for each age. So it still would be studio fiction, but at least they'd be following a timeline, and they wouldn't even do that. So they had a timeline to work with. They just chose to throw it out and say, fuck it. We're going to, they thought they could tell a better story than Tolkien. Their words. Their words were, they were going to tell the story that Tolkien didn't. Pretty much their words. They were connecting the dots that Tolkien already connected in other works, but they were making it seem like Tolkien never touched on this age. No, he did, in detail. In full-on detail. There is Second Age lore out there. They just lied. Like they made people think that they had permission to use it, to adapt it, and they don't. They didn't.
Kind of like when, remember when they were promoting Star Wars Episode 7, and all the way up to the release, they were saying that fans will finally get to see Han, Luke, and Leia together on the Falcon again. No,
never happened.
Yeah, Leia was never even on it. Well, a little bit, but it was like they took turns.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no way. Oh, see, the expert. Well, the initial expert they had, Golden Fox, Thomas Shippey.
Yeah.
Left.
Yeah. He was disgusted.
Yeah.
I think he said some things later on when probably the NDA.
Yeah, because he couldn't say anything initially because of the NDA, but like he said some stuff later on, and like he walked off. They played it as like he was fired basically, but he's like I can't do this.
Yeah, they did the same with the Wheel of Time with Brandon Sanderson, and he said because he was the guy who finished the Wheel of Time after Robert Jordan passed away, and he said they only needed my name to like add validity to the show. They just ignored everything he said. The
expert, like I see, like they did kind of bring on an expert after Shippey, but the expert is like fully on in quotes, like what you have up here. They only brought him on as like basically to agree to everything they were doing.
Basically, a self-appointed Tolkien expert, and you can tell he wasn't a Tolkien expert because that person said, this show could happen."
Yeah, so it's like I'm saying, like expert in quotes, because they had a legitimate expert at one point in Shippey.
Yeah,
but they ran him off.
Yeah, all they had to do was just listen to him, and they would have had a banger of a show.
Yeah,
but
nope, didn't want to do that. They wanted to do it their own way.
Kind of dodged a bullet there because the feminist lady who was in charge of the shows being made at Amazon.
Yeah,
I think she's left now.
Jennifer Salk, yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, they were gonna do a Conan show and an Elric of Melny Bonet, which is a sword and sorcery thing. Freaking awesome! It's heavy metal as hell. But The Witcher ripped it off a bit. But she didn't want to do them because the characters were too full of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
So they added 2 soy boy shows instead.
Yeah.
Shame for Wheel of Time and Tolkien fans, though.
Yeah.
But good for Conan fans, really. Because
see, the thing with Amazon Studios is that basically they are the parent company, and they kind of like have different studios underneath. So it's not like all one studio.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, what, like, how can they make something like good here but like suck here? It's because it's like different studio entities underneath Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just basically just like, is someone smart enough at Amazon to greenlit something good? And you saw with Jennifer Salk, no. But anyway. So we'll see. But like I said, it's kind of like with Netflix, basically. Like it's like Netflix is the umbrella corporation, and it's like different studios underneath making whatever movie or shows.
Yeah, so Gravy D is mentioning God of War. I'll tell you something. Since that's a video game, they're going to just base it on the latest one. And they're going to use the wiki page because that's what they did with Fallout. Because Fallout's such a train wreck. They actually managed to decanonize Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas in one go by altering the timeline and everything. So it's just a love letter to Fallout 4 and nothing else.
Anyway, yeah, so like it's like kind of like with Netflix, they've made some good stuff, they've made some not good stuff, so not so good stuff.
Yeah, well,
Um,
fingers crossed they do well. I mean,
yeah, I'm not praying or hoping that they don't do well. I would like them, like for God of War fans. I hope the show is good. I'm just saying it's like you can't exactly base it off if one like well like the whole oh this one show is good so they're gonna do well here. I'm like no because it's not the same studio doing
just
necessarily
just,
doing it.
just you wait until they do the Tomb Raider thing
Oh
with
God.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge behind the wheels.
Anyway,
Hmm. Yeah.
well, I was gonna say speaking of Netflix and detective stuff, I don't know if you'd be able to get access to this movie anywhere else, but you're talking about detective movies. I'm not saying you have to watch it for like the 10 detective movies or anything, but I thought it was like a fun movie, fun mystery movie, and that was the Thursday Murder Club.
Oh, I have gotten that one. I just haven't watched. It's Helen Mirren, right?
Yeah, Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Ben
Yeah.
Kingsley, yeah, so Celia
Yeah.
Imrie, so
Yeah.
and
It. I have it. I just haven't watched it yet.
yeah, I enjoyed it. So
Yeah. Well. They kind of got me, hooked because of the cast. You know.
and right now, I'm currently reading the book it's based on, just to kind of compare. But
Yeah.
like I said, I enjoyed the movie. The casting was, I think, great.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so like the premise is so fun. Like these are they're they're residents of a retirement home, basically. So those are the sleuths, and the like. But it works. Anyway, so I'm gonna call it here, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm pretty much going to pass out. Well, after I level up my D&D character, I'm going to pass out. But for my outro, basically, tomorrow.
Can hear a roll for hit points, and then like,
Yeah,
thump.
pretty much. Yeah, because so I gotta level up my character. But tomorrow I will be returning to the reading streams. I am currently in the process of reading through Halo: The Fall of Reach, and the next reading stream I will be reading chapters 7 through 9. Chapter 7, 8, and 9 tomorrow, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel. And since I was not feeling well Monday, I'm going to try to stream Friday. I know I keep saying this. I am going to return to Borderlands, but I want to save it for as like a gaming stream to begin the week. So basically, like that's the gaming stream that starts the week and that goes throughout the week, not just one night like of the week, basically. So I'm gonna figure out what game I'm going to play. I have some indie horror games that I could include. I have a number of choices to choose from. Basically, probably like go that route. So that way, it's kind of like a gaming, I guess, semi-chill stream. Basically, so it's not anything too involved or anything like that. And then Monday, going back to Borderlands. Let's see. Saturday, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream in the afternoon. It's always a crapshoot. Saturday, I'll come up with a movie to do a watch party of. Sunday, Talk Nerdy to Us should be on my Nerdy Homes channel, unless anything changes and I have to do it again on my channel. We'll see, but I'll remind her. The closer we get to Sunday that it's on her channel, so we'll see if she remembers. But anyway, chat. And that's it. And then Monday, back to Borderlands. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, have a good rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you all tomorrow evening as we delve further into Halo: The Fall of Reach and John 117's story. Peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.